I'm Heidi Hewitt, AutoCAD Technical Marketing Manager at Autodesk, and I'm here with John Bordeau, Assistant Professor at Kankakee Community College, south of Chicago. John, when you're working with students to create animations, teaching them how to create animations in AutoCAD, what are some of the things that you advise them to kind of watch out for? What are some of the mistakes maybe that you see them make?
Well, I like to make sure that they're detailing the model correctly. You know, not too detailed if they don't need to see it, you know, detailed enough if they do need to see it. Do they have their lighting done correctly yet? I mean, they should have that before they do the animation. Is their materials set at this point? And I also like to say is, you know, how far away do you want to see the model from? Are we looking at it from across the street or up close? I always look at the doorknob issue. If I'm across the street, I don't need the model of the doorknob really detailed, but if I'm zooming right up onto the doorknob, then we do. And also, what is the subject of the animation? You know, what is the star of the show? If it's an architect, we're selling a building, so let's see the building. Let's not see all the entourage that's around the building. So I like to figure out, plan your shot ahead of time before you do all your work. Think of a movie director planning out the scene. So that's where I try to get them to go first, because they usually want to go whole hog and model everything to detail, put all the stuff in, and then they have to wait too long on their animation times.
And is there a storyboard or something that, like a kind of a workflow that you advise to them to do this for planning? A template or anything that you use?
I tell them to sketch. Sketch out of where their scene is, and so that they have to, are we going to go around it in a 180-degree arc? Are we going to spin around in a circle like the Matrix? Which I don't generally like. I like to have nice, slow, steady curves. So I like to have them sketch out where their animation's going to go and what they want to look at. And because a lot of them, you know, they're kind of rigid. They want to make sharp corners, and try to get them to visually sketch it out of where do they want to see. And so a lot of times I would like to say, well, okay, now sketch out where you're walking, sketch out where you want to see. So
kind
make
of the
them think about
path.
it. Yeah. So if it's a path, they have to think about that at first instead of just doing it. And so what is it you want to show off? If you think about when you're walking down a hall, you know, do you just walk straight down the hall? And then when you get to the corner, you turn? No, nobody does that. The movie directors don't do that. You arch around the curve, your eyes are looking in different places. And so all those are things that you want to plan out in advance. So they need to think about all those things before they do the animation. And a lot of them do it after the animation, find out it didn't work.
And they realize, yeah.
And then they have to go back and
those
change
animations
things.
can take time.
They take a lot of time if you tend to put everything on full blast. And you should always go to the low end first, make sure it looks right, then you can always bump up these settings for resolutions, etc.
Good advice. Thanks, John.
All right.